What is up, guys? It's the Lumberjack here with the bearded bastard. I don't know why he does that. And what are we calling you today?
Senor DeathGun.
No.
Nope. Why not? Why can't I have it for once?
No, it's not your video.
Fine, count baby hands.
No, you're Thunder Thighs.
You know, it's Thunder Thighs.
Fine, I guess.
It's not Halloween anymore.
Since it's November, I guess there will be a lot of eating.
So, I'm bringing you guys today my Witchcrafters, which I basically had most of this, like 85% of it, and I know their way is a little weird, but I think it's pretty cool in the long run. So
We forced him into making this.
yeah. So for starters is one of our boss monsters, Witchcrafter Golem Aruru, which basically gives you when an effect is activated, you can target one of your opponent's monsters, and one of your Witchcrafter spells engrave and add them back to hand. But then the turn after, and then she has a protection in while she's in hand, that if any of your spellcasters or I think it just might be just Witchcrafters are targeted for an attack or an effect, she summons herself and then she can do her effect once more. But she has the only downside of her, which I hate about her, is that during the next standby phase, she bounces herself back to hand. But I get to use her effect once more.
Next standby phase or your next standby?
The next stand, I believe it's the next standby phase.
So your opponent's.
Yeah. Or it could be mine, depending on what time when she's yeah. Next is Madame Verre, which I actually like her. She has a quick effect where she can discard a spell from hand and then basically negate all. Basically, it's a Dark Ruler no more. If you think about it that way, it negates all monsters on the field that are currently on the field on my opponent's side. And then we have Witchcrafter Haine, which while she's on field, your opponent cannot target other spellcasters you control besides her. And then she can quick effect discard a spell, and then target one card on the field and destroy it. So those are our boss monsters. And then on to the other Witchcrafters. We have Witchcrafter Schmietta, which I'm not going to say this for all of them, but all the low level ones have the effect where they can tribute themselves and discard a spell from hand to tribute another Witchcrafter from deck. And then Schmietta has an effect in graveyard where you can banish her, and then Foolish Burial Goods a Witchcrafter spell or trap.
Fire, little redhead.
Yep, and that's why you play 3 of her, because you want to see her, because she's the best one, and she's basically the beefier ones of the rest of the lower level ones.
Of the witches.
Of the witches, except for the boss monsters. Next is Witchcrafter Pittore. Witchcrafter Pittore, you can banish her from grave to draw a card and then discard a Witchcrafter card from your hand. So you get a draw when you use her. And then, sorry. So then you have Witchcrafter Genni, where you can banish her from graveyard and a Witchcrafter spell from your grave, and her effect becomes that spell. So
she's level 1 to boot.
Yep. So, but I don't use 1-for-1, but
or Wear Off Thou.
Or Wear Off Thou, because she's the only level 1 in the deck. Besides some other stuff for some spicy plays I have. But I don't know if you can tell, but in her artwork, she's technically, in the lore of things, she's technically the one that created spell counters, even though she doesn't use spell counters herself. In her artwork, you can see
some hints of them.
Some hints of spell counters, like in her staff, and there's a chest behind her that has the symbol as well. Then on to the non-Witchcrafters. I know there's so very few, but you really want to see more spells than anything.
For this type of deck.
For this deck. The one effect failure, because we are playing Halki Fibrax, because there is a way in this deck that you'll see here in a second that I summon this off of Halki Fibrax, and I have a full, a really cool combo that I like to do. Then the reason why I said this is cool, the 3 Psy-Frame Gammas and then the 1 Psy-Frame Driver, because all the lower level Witchcrafters tribute themselves for cost. So say if I normal summon one of them, use their effect, my opponent can ash it, but if I have this in hand, I can turn it into something really can make it backfire on them, technically.
So a counter.
Yeah. So that is all the monsters in the main deck. I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of spells.
Plus those gammas were German.
Yes. Well, no. Actually, they're all different ones. One's German. One's English, and I think the other one's French.
Wow.
I think. Don't quote me on that. I forget. Then onto the spells, we have 3 Witchcrafter Creation, which is the search card of the deck, where you can add any witchcraft monster from your deck to your hand. And then also all the Witchcrafter spells have an effect engrave. At the end of my turn, if I control a Witchcrafter monster, I can add it back to hand. But if I use its effect that turn, I cannot get it's either or. I cannot get it back at the end of my turn. So it's either or. So that's why you want to load your hand up with spells to get to what you want to do.
To make them stronger.
Yeah. Then you have Witchcrafter Holiday, where basically it's the Monster Reborn of the archetype. You can target 1 Witchcrafter in your graveyard and special summon it. And again, it has the same end phase effect. Then you have 3 Witchcrafter Unveiling, where you get to special summon a Witchcrafter from hand. See that you open up a Witchcrafter boss monster in hand that you don't want. Well, you don't really want to see them. You want to summon them off of the other effect, but you can use this to summon them out of your hand to start using them. Then the 1 Witchcrafter Bystreet, and this is one of the 2 continuous spells in the archetype that when it's in graveyard, I can it sets itself back. But with Bystreet, I can when a Witchcrafter monster would be destroyed by any means, it is not destroyed by that effect or whatever by that card. Only once though. But it's not just one of them, it's all of them from me I have. So say if you just try to destroy one of them, it won't be destroyed, but if you try the other one, it still won't be destroyed. And then also the while it's on field, and if I would discard a spell, I can send this to graveyard instead. And then you have Witchcrafter Scroll, which does the same thing as Bystreet, but when a Witchcrafter monster would destroys a monster by battle, I can draw a card, and then it has the other effect as Bystreet. Then, just to get my spells into graveyard, 3 Foolish Burial Goods, because you kind of need to get your stuff in the graveyard.
Basically, something to filter out the rest of the cards.
Yeah, and then the one-ofs, because they're all spells. 1 Metalfoes Fusion, because in this deck it does not hurt to draw it, because then I can just discard it for something, and then I can use its effect. The 1 Instant Fusion, which it is German. 1 Monster Reborn. 1 Reasoning. And then 2 Secret Village of the Spellcaster, because since everything in this deck is a Spellcaster. And then 2 Pot of Extravagance, because I really don't care about the extra deck in this deck. I do use it on the off chance of my opponent using something on me, but then most of the time it's just fodder. And then onto the minimal trap lineup. 2 Witchcrafter Patronus, which is the recycler card of the deck. It's a continuous trap that you can target one of your Witchcrafters that are in the graveyard or banished, shuffle it back in the deck, and then add a Witchcrafter spell. So, and then 2 Summon Limit, because you really don't do much on. You want to stall out your opponent, basically. It's more take control in a way.
which has been proven useful every once in a while.
Every once in a while it helps out. And then that is the main deck. So then onto the extra deck, it's basically up to your preference. Since I am playing Instant Fusion, I am playing Instant Fusion targets. One Millennium Eyes Restrict, 1,000 Eyes Restrict, and one El Shaddai Winda. And then since I am playing Gamma, I am playing the one Omega and the one Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, because it just depends on what you're doing. You could use this for recovery, or you can use Berserker to go for more damage. And then the one Axis Code Talker,
The fancy card.
the fancy card, because you can make this into basically any link 4 that you want. This entire extra deck is up to you. This is just what I'm doing. One Topologic Bomber Dragon, which is also German. Again, this is another card that you can make instead of Axis Code. 2 Celine. This is the card that you make after you make what's his name? Hauki Fibrax. And then you can use her in the monster you summon off of her effect into an Axis Code.
Still like to call it Noodle Fiber.
Needle Fiber, yeah. One Daybreaker, because everything in this deck is Spellcaster. One Nightmare Phoenix, and then the one Hauki Fibrax. And then one Salaman Great Elmirage, because you do have monsters in your main deck that are normal summoned and have attack less than 1,000. The one Relinquished Anima, because you are playing level 1s and it doesn't hurt to suck up 2 monsters from your opponent in the same turn.
You still gotta get one of those.
It's awesome. The only thing I really wish it didn't do is target. Really wish it didn't not target. And then they won Link Karibo. So yeah, basically, mind you, the extra deck is up to your preference, because you are playing Extravagance. It doesn't Oops, sorry. It's all up to you. It doesn't really matter. But this is just what I've been using. So, all right. Well, that's the profile, guys. Thank you guys for stopping by. Leave a like, leave a comment. What you guys think? What you guys hate? What you guys think I should try and fix? So yeah, this is Team R.O.G. signing out.
Don't forget to subscribe, guys.